giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people, and happy Friday. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube on this beautiful Friday morning. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. That means we have our matchup segment later on in the show. 3 key matchups, and one of them, a little bit of a curveball. Throwing a curveball at y'all. We haven't really done this in the previous matchup segments before. I'm going to try it today just because I feel like it will make sense. In the roundup, we got a lengthy injury report. I don't know if you guys follow wrestling, but there was the 1,000 moves of death or whatever it was from Chris Jericho. We rolled out the list, and it was taller than him. That's what yesterday's injury report looks like. It's a long list, but I'm going to tell you why. If you really look at it, it's not as serious as it may look. However, there are some players we got to get some updates on. So we'll get into that as well in the roundup. Plus, we hear from our new linebacker, Rashaan Evans. And I got a take on Rashaan Evans that brings back one of our former segments over the last year here that you guys seem to enjoy with one of our sponsors. So stick around for that. And then, of course, after everything, we'll get into our 3 key matchups. So jam-packed Friday. There is another curveball I'm throwing at you guys after I give you guys the take. So it is a chance to win something. So I'm going to tease it. That's what's called a teaser. And I will do that. But y'all need to stick around for that. But what's good, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
How y'all feeling, man? Shouts out to, hate to say it, but the Phillies. I know we got some Braves fans in the chat. As a old school Brave fan, because I don't want to fake the funk to y'all. I don't want to do it. I don't watch baseball as much anymore, and I just feel dirty saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a Braves fan." I'm an old school Braves fan. Don't follow baseball as much, but shout out to my guy Pat. I know Professor O. He's a Braves fan. A couple other people in here are Brave fans. If I had the music, I'd play it, but I used to have that damn drop. Where'd that drop go? Let me see here. Nope, it ain't there no more. I don't got it. But yeah, man, it sucks for Braves fans right now, but definitely when it's the Phillies. Like, you don't want to see the Phillies move along. I mean, come on. But rooting for the Rangers, right? Yeah, Lee, I know, bro. I know it's rough. It's rough out here. It's rough out here for y'all. But being in Dallas, I got to root for the Rangers to get to the big game, right? Or as they call it, the Fall Classic with the World Series. So because I do want to see a parade, man. I do. And if it ain't going to be Dallas, which we got a ways to go to get there, and it ain't going to be the Mavericks, which they had their chance a couple years ago. And I wasn't here in 2011. Well, god dang it, we got the Rangers right now. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do, man. That's enough baseball talk. I ain't going to sit here and fake the funk. I don't really know much about it anymore. I'm not as drawn into it as I was, but go Rangers. Go Rangers. All right, let's get into the roundup and talk about this injury list and talk about Rashaan Evans, man. I'm just saying, bro.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
Time.
It's time!
Time?
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you!
Hey, they pushing my boy LA Knight, ain't they? Woo, woo. Yeah. Shout out to my guy LA Knight. Hold on, where he at? That's my guy, man. If you like Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars, man, he brings lots of those memories back. Anyway, lengthy injury report for the Cowboys. 17 names are on that list. But when you look at it, it looks worse than what it really is, though, Cowboys Nation. 10 of those 17 names are either full participants or rest days. And what it's looking like now is kind of the early portion of Cowboys practices are considered veteran rest days or what have you. And since this game is Monday, Cowboys going to have an extra day or two of practice. So they're treating Thursday practice like a Wednesday. So 17 names are on there, but 10 of them are either full or guys getting rest. So it's not like there's 17 players that are hurt or banged up. 2 of those guys are on IR. LVE, CJ Goodwin, they're done for the season. Well, one is done for the season. The other one's on IR. So they have to put those guys on there to start off the week, but they won't be on there next week because obviously they're on IR. So that leaves 5 real legitimate names that are on this list, and I'll give them to you. Did not practice. Only 2 of those guys. Turpin and Wanye Thomas. And Wanye is dealing with a hamstring. Wanye's is an interesting one. He popped up on that injury report. Was a little bit surprised. Didn't hear anything about it. Hammy. Hate to hear Hammy. We've been talking about Thomas trying to get some more tick. And this happened. So we'll have to obviously watch today, tomorrow, and even Sunday. They'll probably do a little something Sunday. And then they'll fly out prior to, I imagine probably Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon to get ready for the Chargers game on Monday. So, and then Kevontae Turpin, he didn't practice. He has the high ankle sprain, which again, I'm just shocked that he even has a chance. This is kind of crazy to me, but nonetheless, he was out there. No boot on his foot. Doesn't look like he had crazy tape on his ankle. We'll see. The limited participation guys, Damone Clark was limited last week. Gallimore's new. He has a knee limited. And then Pollard also was limited last week, but he has a shoulder. So those are like the 5 real injuries. Clark, Gallimore, Pollard limited, but Turpin and Wanye did not practice. The other 15 names, or not 15 names, I'm sorry, 12 names, it's not really a thing. It's just a rest day and or these guys are out on IR. So looks daunting, but it kind of looks like a normal-ass injury report when you really look at it. We'll see what happens today after practice in regards to Thomas and Turpin. Those guys did not practice. I don't know that they will practice today. I'd imagine Clark, Gallimore, Pollard will continue to be on a limited basis, and then we'll see what happens this weekend. I'm a little bit shocked that Rashaan Evans spoke so quickly. Now, I say shocked, but this is the Cowboys. Maybe any other team, they're not going to put the microphone in front of these guys' face right away. But in Dallas, oh, yes, indeed. It's a gift and a curse. All right, it's a gift because we get a chance to hear from these guys right away. It's a curse because sound bites and all this other stuff in the media. But he got a chance to speak with the beat down there, and it sounds like he could go this week. His words were, I can play this week, but it's going to be up to the coaches. We talked about this with Patrick Nosey Walker yesterday, DallasCowboys.com insider. He doesn't, and I agree with him here, he doesn't think it's going to take much for Evans to be ready to go. However, it will ultimately be up to the coaches. But here are some of the things that Evans said during his media scrum or what have you. He said when asked about his biggest attribute that he brings to the Cowboys, physicality. Love to hear that. He said, quote, I try not to be too savvy in my words about my play, and I try to leave it up to what I've shown on TV, but I can't wait for that opportunity to come. I appreciate that, especially given we are in Dallas and we know they love sound bites, they love clips, they love all that stuff. And he's just like, look, I'm physical. I bring physicality here. I can't get cute and funny with my words or whatever, man. I just allow my play to speak for me. So just watch when we get on TV. Appreciate that from Rashaan Evans. Yesterday, I talked about his leadership being a key thing without Leighton Vander Esch out there, right? Given he's the only linebacker in that room, LVE was, but now it's Rashaan Evans with real long-term experience in this league, highs and lows for years, right? Rashaan Evans, 27 years old, been around for about like 6 years, I think. And he spoke on mentoring these guys. He said, quote, I try to give them advice about my own career and about preparing for the game and the standard that comes with the game. And he said as soon as he got in the building, these guys were asking questions, even like, hey, man, I see how you are out here. Like, why are you even on the street? Like, what happened? He's like, I know it's the business. That's the NFL. It's the league. And like I said yesterday when asked around, there was a point in the offseason where Evans wanted a certain dollar amount and teams weren't willing to pay. And he was just like, screw it, I'll wait. And then he gets picked up by Philly and requests his release very fast, and they were granted his release. And here he is in Dallas. So maybe it's a blessing. He says, on being ready, it won't take me too much to get up to speed. I've been training all season to be a part of somebody's team. And now that I have an opportunity to be a part of Cowboys, I'm ready whenever they're ready. I'm ready whenever they are ready. Well, we ready. We as Cowboy fans are ready because we need physicality from that position, more downhill type of player from that position. And that leads me to the return of our Hattie B's hot take. Shouts out to Hattie B's. They are back on as a sponsor. And our very first Hattie B's hot take, which we do on Fridays for the most part, and we'll continue to do that for as long as we are partnered up. My very first one revolves around Rashaan Evans. Y'all know I'm not a hot take artist, by the way. I don't like hot takes. However, I get that money. Here's my hot take. Might be lukewarm, but it's up to y'all. Rashaan Evans will hold down the fort or fortify it. He might fortify that thing in LVE's absence. Rashaan Evans will hold down a fort, if not fortify it, in LVE's absence. I do think there is something about being that physical downhill player that makes plays at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. There's something to that, especially in this defense, because we really haven't had that on a consistent basis. He had 46 stops last year. By the way, this isn't a guy coming off a bunch of injuries or a guy that hasn't played in a couple years. He just played, and he played a career year in Atlanta last year. He had 46 stops. That is the most stops of any linebacker on this team since 2018 when LVE had 54. No one has reached that number. They haven't even reached 40 since 2018 of the guys on this team, right? He also has 9 tackles for loss in the last 2 seasons. Again, there is something to downhill and playing at or beyond the line of scrimmage. As much as some people, hey, LVE is playing better, LVE leadership, green dot, he does different things, that's fine. But one thing he does not do is play at or beyond the line of scrimmage on a consistent basis. 9 tackles for loss in the last 2 seasons for Rashaan Evans. LVE coming into the season had 12 total in his career. That's just not his game. Whereas this is definitely Rashaan Evans' game. Now, could he be a guy that you target in the pass department? Possibly, right? He had 4 pass breakups last year. I wouldn't consider him pass game savant, right? Pass coverage savant, but he knows where to be. He talked about getting back into the swing of things from a tackling standpoint, just feeling that type of physicality, and then also knowing where to be in zone coverage. And that's something I do think LVE does at a high level. He knows where to be in zone coverage. Now he just got to make plays on the ball. But I'm more concerned about coming downhill. I'm more concerned about making plays at the line of scrimmage. I'm more concerned about making plays behind the line of scrimmage. And that's something that Rashaan Evans, I think, can give you. So, one more time, my hot take for the day. I think Rashaan Evans will not only hold down the fort, but possibly fortify the fort in LVE's absence. Will that be this week? We'll see. We will see. That is my hot take presented by Hattie B's. No conversation about the best Nashville-style hot chicken is complete without a serious mention of Hattie B's Hot Chicken, which was founded in Midtown Nashville in 2012. Hattie B's is renowned nationally for its authentic Nashville hot chicken. It's a fast casual eatery and now has a location in downtown Dallas, Deep Ellum actually. And it serves up hot chicken with varying levels of heat. If y'all remember these heats, y'all know what it is. Southern, mild, medium, hot to damn hot, and the Daredevil's dream. Shut the cluck up. So what makes Hattie B's hot chicken a beloved favorite? Each free-range, humanely raised chicken is brined, hand-breaded, and fried to perfection. So use the link in the description to sign up or visit HattieB.com for your next order. Now here is where things will get interesting. Before we move on to the matchups, we're going to be doing a weekly giveaway on behalf of Hattie B. Shouts out to him, okay? A $50 gift card giveaway each and every week, which you can receive digitally and can be used at any Hattie B's in the country, all right? How do you get it? This is where it gets fun. Now, we're trying some things out here, okay? I don't know how often we're going to do this in regards to the trivia, but we're going to do this. So, we're going to do a Cowboys trivia. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. Let me get where my clock at. Give you guys 30 seconds to answer said trivia question. Whoever gets the answer right, we'll put you guys in a drawing. Y'all know the wheel that we do. Spin the wheel, and you will be the winner of the $50 gift card giveaway. All I need is your name, email, and it'll be sent to you, and boom, you're good to go. So once again, I'll ask the question. You'll have 30 seconds to answer. Whoever gets it correct in the chat, I will take your names, put it in the wheel, we'll spin it. If it's only one person that gets it right, congratulations, you are the winner. Anybody that submits the answer after the 30 seconds will not be eligible to get it in there, okay? So here we go. And I turn the music off so you can hear. Let me get it ready. Here's a question. Get your trigger finger ready. Get your Twitter fingers ready. Who is the only Cowboy? And I'm going to put this in. I actually want to put this in here real quick because I don't want y'all to. All right. There we go. Who is the only Cowboy to win an NFL title as a player, assistant coach, and head coach? And I'm putting it in the chat. Who was the only Cowboy to win an NFL title as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach? Go. $20 seconds. Kind of started off with a kind of crazy one here. 10 seconds. Three, two, one, done. I saw the correct answer in here. Get out of here. I saw the correct answer in here, and we're ending at Brian Bradford. That's the last guy that gets a chance to get in there. Where the hell did you go? Where'd you go, Brian? God dang, did y'all just throw up here like 17 different questions? Where'd you go, Brian? Woo, y'all threw that in there late. The correct answer? Mike Ditka. Okay, so I will go from Brian on up and grab your guys' names and throw them in this wheel. So we got Bradford, who got it correct. Michael Whitehead got it correct. I'm just calling you Mike Whitehead. Is that fine with you, brother? Here we go. Ty Harvey got it correct. Grayson Randall got it correct. I spell your name wrong, my bad. Who's Bear 24? I got you, Bear. John McSwain. Just gonna put you down as McSwain. No, not Chan Gailey. Taylor Ellis. I'm gonna put you down as T. Ellis. Not Switzer. Ricky Wheat. I'm not sure what you was doing there. It says Sitka. My guess is you meant Dicka. I'll give it to you, Ricky Wheat. I'll give it to you, but we're going to need you to be a little bit more correct there, brother. Tony Hubbard. Man, a lot of y'all actually got this right. Dan Reeves would have been a good one. That would have been a good one, but he didn't win one. Mike Jimenez. I tried to throw a dang curveball at y'all because I didn't think a lot of y'all was going to get this. Jay Recruiter. Toxic. TC915. Man, yo, all right. I'm making this way harder next time. And there was some weird ones on there, like who was the person that added the stripe to the cow, like all stuff like that. But I didn't want to go too crazy. INC. Again, we just trying this thing out, and I don't know if this is gonna be the way to do it because this is taking way too long. Let's see here. Nope. And then Vance. I know Vance was one of the first ones. Vance. CR, Zeno. Ricky. Good Lord. Ricky. Hey, Zach, we gonna have to figure something else out, bruh. And that's it. Okay, here we go. I tell you the thing you do. Where we at here? Here are all the names. Just to let y'all know, I ain't picking these myself. I'm clicking the button. Whoever wins gets a $50 gift card. Here we go. Congratulations to, almost, Vance. Hey, Mr. Vance, what I need you to do is send me your full first and last name and email address. And Zach Baker said, I got you. And I will get you that $50 gift card to Hattie B's. Congratulations. Again, if you're listening, Vance, because I promise you, if you don't do this, Brother L, look, I wish. We got to find a different way. But Vance Williams, right? Shoot me your name and email address. If you have me on Twitter, at Skywalker Still. If not, my email address, skywalkerstill@gmail, so that you can recoup this giveaway. I'll send you via Twitter. Perfect. Congratulations to Vance Williams. Again, something different that we're trying. Apologies that it kind of took longer than I thought. I thought I duped y'all. I'll keep it on. I thought I might have got y'all a little bit with that one because, Mike Dicker kind of, no one really thinks about him anymore. But congratulations to everybody that got the answer correct. I did not expect y'all to get that answer. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought maybe like 5, not 15. But good stuff. Okay. With that said, we're going to turn this page and we're going to hit these matchups. And in doing so, give y'all a few seconds to kind of reset here. That fair?
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Facts.
We'll do it live.
Facts, Inc. Technically, my demographic lies in that mid-20s to 54, I think it was. So 100% was well, when I say 35 and older, if we're being honest, though, I say this a lot about our young Cowboy fans. I think you need to study up on Cowboys history. I'm not telling you how to fan. I don't like to do that. But I think it's important with the historic franchise that we are. I know it ain't been great recently, but we are a historic franchise in the National Football League. I think it's only right that you know about these things for your Cowboys back in the day. I'm not saying live in the past, but know your history about your team. Not counting my age, man. All right, let's get into these matchups. I do think the Cowboys have a few of these matchups that, well, at least the one I'm about to talk about now, that is heavily in their favor. The other two will be matchups that the Cowboys just need to win or need to at the very least compete. At least one of them. First matchup here. Michael Davis versus Michael Gallup. Let me unlock this. Versus Michael Gallup and Brandon Cooks. We broke down the Chargers offense and defense over the last 2 days, but we didn't break down the individual guys specifically. But this one I will. Michael Davis, when you look at the Chargers pass defense, they're pretty bad this year. Just is what it is. They rank dead last in yards, 27th in touchdowns allowed, and Michael Davis is responsible for over half of those touchdowns. 4 of them to be exact. And he's allowed a quarterback rating of 138 when targeted and a 72% completion rate. At some damn point, Brandon Cooks is going to have to get going. At some point. What better week than against a bad pass defense like this one? On the flip side, I have this thought that Michael Davis will be lined up on Gallup a lot in this game. And here's why. Davis is the big body corner, 6'2", roughly 200 pounds. He's the bigger guy that they probably want to match up with the opposing team's bigger guys. Doesn't work out for him because he's just hasn't been good this year. And I think they'll eventually put Asante Samuel on Brandon Cooks throughout this game. And here's why I think that. Both of these cornerbacks flip sides. They don't play just one side of the field when you go and look at their snap counts. They are moving around on each side of the field. So, well, why not CD Lamb on Michael Davis guy? Well, he ain't going to see him. You know, they don't slide inside. Asante Samuel, Michael Davis do not move inside and play in the slot, and that's where CD Lamb does most of his damage and where he's going to play. So you'll see Lamb matched up on Jasir Taylor, which is a big mismatch too because Taylor hasn't been good this year either. No one really has in that pass defense, hence why they're dead last in the league. So if we could take advantage of mouse in the house, Michael Davis, I think you can get some bigger plays made on this guy. They don't like to have big plays made on them, hence why they play so much too high, hence why they play a lot of cover 4, umbrella stuff. They want you to catch it and rally and tackle. It's be a good time to maybe, get some tunnel stuff going, get some deep post on these guys or some deep digs on these guys and see maybe what, if you get Cooks the ball right now, see what he can do. Not on just a regular slant, not on a double slant, which we'll get to in a second, but actively work to get him to rock. And you could say the same thing about CD Lamb, right? Which is a big topic this week and over the last couple weeks, getting the damn rock. But if the Cowboys can take advantage of Michael Davis, I think everything else will kind of fall in line for this offense. Now, there's other things that need to happen, but this is a matchup that I think the Cowboys can win before they even step on the field. I feel like they have a huge advantage, so take advantage of it. What happened to players over plays, right? The whole thing, right? Players this, players that. Well, here's your matchup. Every week you kind of got one. Utilize it. This second one, really interested to see what you guys have to say about this because after kind of looking at the film and seeing how our players playing here, this is an interesting matchup. Jordan Lewis versus Keenan Allen. You might say, what the hell? Physically, this is a mismatch physically. But J. Lou's starting to get his feet up under him, man. Starting to get his feet up under him. This is a big task. Keenan Allen is no easy player to defend, right? But you're going to see this matchup a hell of a lot because Keenan Allen plays in the slot, and he plays in the slot majority of the time. He's only played less than 15 snaps or more than 15 snaps out wide once, and that was in week 1. So you're likely going to see him in the slot 30, 40 or so times in this game, and you're going to see this matchup. And it's been 4 weeks now since J. Lou has returned. And when you look on the film, I think he looks better than he did prior to the injury. Seriously, physically, J. Lou looks good. And I think he's been, I think he's been underrated. He's been an underrated run defender. He's always kind of had some physicality for his size. And if you're into grades, he's been the number 1 graded run defender at the position since his return. I think I didn't think that was the case, but when you go look, he has. He's already got half as many stops as he's had all last year. He's halfway there. Obviously, he forced a big turnover last week against Christian McCaffrey. You often see him practicing with the safeties in camp because he does some of those things in the box due to where he plays. What about coverage? What about coverage? PFF put that touchdown last week to, who was it? The tight end, George Kittle. They put that on Jordan Lewis, but when we went back and watched the film, it wasn't on Jordan Lewis. We actually broke this down with Okoye. Jay Lou actually played that extremely well. He just didn't get no help over top because J-Rock got confused, bit on Deebo Samuels with the fake reverse, and that left the backside of that. And great play call, but Jay Lou played it well. And if you go look at his film since he's returned, it's been pretty damn solid. Had a nice pass breakup on Brandon Ayuk. He's in the game from a IQ and acumen standpoint, and I think that's where he's going to have to win against Keenan Allen this week, y'all. I think he's going to have to win with his IQ. He's going to have to win being a heady, savvy player because that's how Keenan Allen is beating guys this year. He's a dude that's getting moved around and open via scheme, but I don't think he's beating dudes just physically. Just look, it is what it is. He gets hurt a lot. He's older, but that doesn't mean he can't beat you with his mind and his football IQ. That's what he does, and that's how Kellen Moore is going to utilize him. I think that's a good match with Jay Lou because Jay Lou plays with that same way. Now, as I say that, when I was doing this matchup, let me bring y'all back here. I got to thinking, and look, I'm not saying this is what should happen. I kind of just want to have this conversation with y'all. I like Jay Lou in the slot, 100%. I think he's going to be fine there. But do you consider in this game, given there's no Mike Williams, we don't believe that Palmer and Johnston right now are super threats, right? No Jalen Guyton. He's still out, injured. Do you consider star coverage with Deron Bland? Talk to me, Cowboys Nation. Do you consider star coverage with Deron Bland? I don't know that it's necessary because Jay Lou is obviously a very capable slot guy. But we know Deron Bland is like that, right? And they're just not going to put Keenan Allen on the outside on Deron Bland all game. They ain't going to do it. They're not stupid, right? Why would I put him on their best corner who's playing their best ball? Deron Bland's playing some hella good ball. You go back and you look at that game against San Francisco. It ain't Deron Bland that's your problem. No, sir. So we do that, right? Again, just talking to y'all. If you do put Deron Bland on the inside, you ain't putting Jay Lou on the outside. Like, that's just not going to happen, right? Who do you put out there? You think about Izzy? Come on, talk to me. Just talking. I ain't saying they doing this. I ain't asked nobody down there. I'm just thinking of ways to minimize or delete Keenan Allen. And I know we got a beast of a cornerback in Deron Bland. Outside, inside, don't matter. I like Jay Lou. I think Jay Lou will be fine. But I feel like I know Deron Bland will get in bruh's grill. And the fact that he can't beat me physically anymore, I don't think he can. Deron Bland will make it tough on Keenan Allen physically. And maybe you'll get a chance to get some interceptions. So what do you do on the outside? Look, shouts out to Noah Igbenogany getting a touchdown or whatnot. I don't know that I'm ready to see out there just yet. I could probably say the same thing with Izzy, but I know I've seen Izzy, get thrown into the fire, have to step up on the inside, but I think he's actually tailor-made to be on the outside, given his size, use the sideline and whatnot. And guess what? Big body guys you're going against. Johnston, Palmer, these aren't speedy dudes going to run right by. These are big body physical guys. So if I want to throw a curveball in this thing, and it sounds weird, hey, we're going to bench one of our cornerbacks that's playing well. I'm not saying bench him. But if things get weird, if early on you see, hey, this matchup ain't working, I'd consider moving Deron Bland inside and seeing if Izzy can do some things outside. Now that has to be a part of preparation. You can't just up and just do it, right? That has to be part of preparation. And it's not an easy decision to make because I do think that Jay Lou is playing good ball. But it was just thought. It's just something I was just thinking about if things start to get muddy or if, hey, they go into this game saying, hey, we think Deron Bland can neutralize this guy when it comes to man coverage. Because in man coverage, they really don't want Keenan Allen trying to, at least from what I've seen on the 3 games I watched, they're not asking Keenan to just flat out beat your man. They're doing things to get him open, and he's using his mind to aid in that. I think that's what's cool about it. So just a thought. Sajid said, who's coming off the field? It would be J. Lou. So that's what we're saying. We move Deron inside, J. Lou come off, and you put Izzy outside. But it's interesting. Want to keep Bland outside. That's how I feel too, Swain. Like, I let him rock. I think J. Lou doing well. But it was just a thought process because I know that DB is nice like that. Jay Recruiter said Nashawn is coming. Nashawn Wright. By the way, I could have probably put him. We talked about this in the roundup. Nashawn Wright did return in regards to practice. His 21-day window is open. He's not back yet, but his 21-day window is open. They'll decide to activate him whenever they decide to do it. Also, they signed Sean McEwen to the roster, 53-man roster, and Peyton Hendershot is on IR. And I feel about Hendo right now. He's got a long way to go, and honestly, we get way into next season. Good luck, bruh, with John Stevens coming back. Yeah, no, the guru. You wouldn't put him outside. That's why I say you use Izzy out there. And again, maybe in specialty situations, maybe if things get rocky early on, you look into doing that. But I feel like that would have to be planned, right? Like, I don't think you can just do that without planning it. Alex said he's over the J. Lou experiment. I don't think it's an experiment. I promise you, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but go put on a film of Jordan Lewis. I think your whole mindset would change about how he's playing good ball this year. Like, Jordan Lewis is the least of your problems on defense. The least of your problems. If J. Lou was looking like J. Lou was even before his injury, like before his injury, Jordan Lewis was looking like, hey, is he hurt? Is he dinged up? He ain't moving right. And then he got hurt on an interception, by the way. And I had a little bit of worries about him coming back, but he looks on film again. Jordan Lewis looks better than he's looked in years past, which I don't know how that's possible given his foot situation, but it is what it is. So I'm not capping for J. Lou, but I think J. Lou is playing good ball when I turn on that film, bro. CJ said, should we switch to more zone this week? Well, tried that last week. Didn't work out. So I say no. Here's why I'm going to say no to that, CJ. What you don't want to do, you have to mix it up. You can't just constantly be one or the other. But what you don't want to do is give these wide receivers who I don't think threaten you vertically just space to take easy catches, and now they use their physicality to break tackles or what have you and get yak and whatnot. Excuse me. I do think you need to challenge these guys a little bit more so that you can get home on Justin Herbert. Herbert wants to push the rock. He don't give a damn if they're covered. He's still going to throw it up. So that means more opportunities for guys like DB and Gilly, right, to make plays on the ball. I don't fear these guys getting behind me from a pure physical standpoint. They'd have to get behind me via scheme, via double moves, things like that. And look, Kellen Moore we saw that. We showed you some plays. We showed you some plays where Kellen Moore is getting Keenan Allen on some wheel routes, right? He's getting them free based off of the coverage. So you do got to be aware of how they're trying to attack you. But I'd like them to just play their game in this one. It's a little different. Yeah, Kellen does some pre-snap motion and stuff like that. But this isn't San Fran in the manner of how they utilize their pre-snap motion. So I say play their game. Mix it up, but play their game. Don't make things comfortable and easy for Justin Herbert. You give him windows to throw, the dude has a laser arm. He's going to throw them in those windows and just keep the chains moving. But if you make him have to make contested throws, he's going to try it anyway. I take my chances with that over just letting him sit back there and say, oh, we're dropping in zone. I'll just get it to Allen or whomever, 8, 10, 15 yards, and let's keep it moving. That's kind of my thought. So he says, yeah, but we know Kellen likes man-beating routes. Yeah, he likes man-beating routes, but Deron Bland, Gilly, this pass rush, you've got to have time to get those routes off, right? You got to have time. We also know that, I mean, at least in Dak's case, he tore up zone last year too, right? Went into the number one defense, and that was Dak, right? Like number one defense against the Eagles, and I don't think he missed. It didn't feel like he missed when they played zone. So I just think you got to be who you are. And I think being who you are against this team actually will work as opposed to maybe another Miami. Now, you want to talk about going zone? That's the game you want to go zone. That's the game where you say, hey, look, man, I'm just going to live with y'all having to sift through 7-8 defenders, and we'll figure it out. Because those dudes will get right behind you. Yeah, I agree, Jay. Play to your strengths, specifically in this one. Specifically in this one. Okay. Here's my third one. And this one's going to be a little lengthy because we're going to kind of go into a little bit of a film session in a way. Not really. Not me personally, but somebody else. Super Bowl winner. My third key matchup. Mike McCarthy versus Mike McCarthy. Big Mike. Boy, look, make no bones about it, man. Big Mike was not in his bag on Sunday, and he'd tell you that. He would tell you that. And what I do not want to see or start to see is this offense. He loses the offense, and he loses one of his biggest weapons like a CD Lamb. With that said, the details that they preached in the offseason, we did not see those things on display on Sunday. We saw some of it earlier in the year for sure. We ain't see that on Sunday. We in week 5. I get there's going to be some growing pains because I was told this was going to be mostly the same offense. Nah, they pretty much scratched the whole offense and trying a bunch of different things that we didn't do previously. So yeah, sure, growing pains, whatever, Mike. However, when your whole thing is details, I appreciate the details. But when those details aren't happening, and they're consecutively not happening on possessions and plays and whatnot, it's a scary proposition if you go up against a good defense. I'm not just saying that. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner broke down some of these things about the details. And so we're going to go back into the film room or the lab via Kurt Warner, and we're going to listen to him. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the whole thing is like 6 minutes or something like that. But we'll play part of Kurt Warner. I'm going to show you a play where the details actually mattered and worked for the Cowboys early in the season. Then Kurt's going to show you how another team does it. So here's Kurt Warner talking about the details that the Cowboys lacked in the game.
I'm a guy that's all about the details. You guys know that if you watch my study ball and pay attention to the stuff that I break down. So this particular play, Dallas is going to run a double slant over here to this side. So we'll run it real quick, see the double slant. So this isn't the interception. This is actually one that happened earlier in the game. So a couple things I want you guys to pay attention to. The first thing I want you to recognize is that they're on the backside hash. So when you're on the backside hash, obviously you're going to cut down the space that you have over here to isolate because you're really trying to isolate this linebacker. He gets wide, you throw it underneath him. If he stays tucked inside or really just hesitates, you're going to hit the guy outside. But here's where details become so important. That as you watch this play, what I want you to notice is that both receivers run their routes at the same depth. Okay? So hardest thing for a quarterback is what we're trying to do is see movement. But if both of these guys are running their routes at the same depth, it's impossible to be on time to the outside throw unless you're just guessing ahead of time because you can't get a read off of the inside linebacker unless this guy makes him do something. And so if he's going to push up 5 yards and he's going to push up 5 yards and you've got to throw it as this guy's breaking out of his 5-yard slant, how do you get a read off of this guy until this guy breaks? So one of the details that I've always run with double slant is I run this guy on a one-step slant. One-step slant, three-step slant. One step so I can get a read. I can get an idea of what this guy's doing. So if he does push through on the one step, I can react back to the inside. Otherwise, I have no chance. So we get that read, and then this guy comes out of his break later than the other guy. So you see it right here, and I think this is Dre Greenlaw right here. He's just, right, he's not doing anything. And so he's not really jumping outside. So you really want to be able to throw the outside slant. But again, you can't throw the inside, you can't throw the outside because they're both on the same plane. And actually how it plays out, you see CeeDee Lamb is actually shorter than the inside receiver on the double slant. So timing is everything on this particular play, right? He should be going inside to this defender right here. And then again, more details. Dallas is running a little hook outside over here, and we're going to put the back right underneath this inside slant. Why not put the back over there to the strong side? So if this guy wants to push wide to the hook, we just replace him right there. But details are everything.
And the reason why I have this play up, my bad, Cowboys Nation, let me go ahead and reset this, is because if you look at earlier in the season, we ran something similar. Now, what you don't see in that breakdown is he talks about where the ball is at via the hash or whatnot. So the ball is actually on the oppo hash of the 3x2 set. And he talked about the details. We saw a lot of those details early in the season. This was a play, which was a big play too. It was on 4th down. If you look at the top of the screen, you guys can see my cursor. Yes, you can. Now, this isn't a 2x2 set that we saw against the 49ers, but similar thing, get a double slant and just watch how these guys push the field and the details happen to matter. At the snap, I'm going to slow it down now. Look how he cuts off his route quickly, as Kurt Warner talked about, and you'll see CeeDee Lamb push this guy up the middle of the field, which then opens this thing up for a pitch and catch, first down for our guy, Brandon Cooks. Again, the details matter. These guys aren't cutting on the same plane, and this happened again later in the game against the 49ers. But that's what he's basically talking about. Now, he also shows an example of how this is run in, I believe, Cincinnati. So we'll let the play run and let him listen. Or we'll listen, I should say.
Okay, and this is where I just jumped to, because now it's the Cincinnati Bengals. First thing we notice, they're on the opposite hash. So if they're going to run double slants, they're going to give themselves space and force this guy to cover more ground. That's a huge key on double slants. Or we can get spacing between these two so we get more room if we want. What I want you to watch, what does the inside guy do? Look at the difference in timing of these two slants. Inside guy goes. Now we get a read on this guy before I have to throw it. You look at Joe Burrow. He's not ready. He's not having to throw this ball yet. Ball doesn't have to come out yet. But he's able to get a read off of the inside guy because we go one step on the inside. Jamar Chase does a good job of pushing up to his depth, even with the press. He gets deeper. Look at the separation between the two. We get our read off of that linebacker. Even though it's not a great throw by Joe, you see the spacing that we have right there between the two, making this play easier. And those are the details that I'm talking about. Details determine everything. Winning and losing, positive plays, negative plays, details.
Can't be a detail-based offense, especially if you're going to be a lot of short, quick pass game offense, if you're not going to harp on them even during the season. Can't do it, won't do it. I mean, look, there's a lot of things we can talk about in regards to the design of the offense, but that's just one of them, right? Another thing, he's got to open it up, I think, a bit more on the early downs. I get in his archaic West Coast offense, he's trying to use a quick pass game as the supplement to the run game. I get that, but everything can't be quick or people will sit on it. You need to have some type of intermediate or deep shot concepts. Like it has to marry with the quick game, I think. But there was a fantastic article on The Ringer regarding McCarthy's penchant for the quick game early on. And I'm going to read a couple excerpts from it. All right, quote. On rundowns, which True Media considers any play of first down or second and medium, Prescott is completing 71% of his passes with an on-target throw rate that ranks 5th best in the NFL. Oh, sounds good, right? But he ranks 20th in both yards and EPA per dropback on those plays, and 35.7% of his rundown completions have lost EPA per play for the Cowboys, the fourth highest mark in the league. So Dak is executing the plays that are being designed. This is from him, but the play designs aren't very good. Now, in obvious passing situations, he's been far more efficient. While he ranks 11th in EPA per dropback overall on pass plays, if you strip out the play action and screen passes, which are more dependent on play design rather than a QB's processing skills, he jumps to 5th, according to True Media. So Dak is still Dak, but he says he's stuck in a poorly designed offense. That's not what I signed up for here. He says there's more static and symmetrical formations with half-field concepts to either side. We talk about that a lot. It's a generic-ass offense, according to him. It's an NCAA 14-ass offense. It's like someone searched football play on Getty Images and turned the results into a playbook. Eesh. Says, I hate watching it, but I'm sure opposing defenders love it because it makes their job easier. All the complexity is stripped out because of the scheme, so it's easier for defenses to sit on some of McCarthy's favorite play calls. For example, Dallas has run double slant concept 15 times this season. Only the Bengals, ironically, as we just watched both of those guys get broken down by Kurt, only the Bengals have run it more. And the Cowboys are averaging negative .40 EPA on those plays, and it's because the defense knows those routes are coming. Hey, coach, I ain't signed up for this, coach. No. Hey, coach, look, bro. When you told me 70%, 30%, whatever it was, God damn it, I believed you. Thought we was doing situational. I thought we was changing things situationally. Like I said yesterday, I don't mind if the offense is like this when you're up big, when you're, just, hey, we got to end the game, or we're just working within the flow. We don't got to do nothing crazy. But that was the game. Like the 49ers was the game to show your offense. And we came out the game with our wide receivers running less than 2 yards per route, and two of the guys ran less than 1. So, look, man. Yes, your version of the West Coast, did it bog down the end? Did it get rid of most of the interceptions minus what happened in the second half against the Niners? Sure. But what did it cost you? Did it cost you everything? Told you, I'd rather throw this thing and we end the season 32 tutties, 14. I'd rather that than this. So McCarthy is going to have to fight McCarthy in this game. I do. I think so. Now, I'm not saying he's going to have to go crazy and change everything up in this game. You can't do that, I think, week to week. You're going to have to, maybe in the bye week, you alter some things. But if we're going to come out here and allow teams to just sit on these short routes and we're not going to alter it. You ever see Players Club? Trouble. It's going to be trouble, man. It's going to be trouble. So he's going to have to do a better job of that on Sunday. Add some more wrinkles to this. Nothing crazy, but just add some wrinkles for this week to walk out of here with some momentum offensively into the bye week. But what we don't want to do, man, we don't want to get to a point where we've seen this in previous years. We know what they're doing. How many times have we heard that? Honestly, not just the last regime, the previous regime, honestly, since like 07, 08 or whatever, before when JG was offensive coordinator. I'm personally sick and tired of hearing, oh man, yeah, we knew what they were going to do. That's what's going to happen unless we shake some things up here and kind of get into 2023. I'm not saying you gotta go all. I would love to go all Shanahan and old boy over there in Miami, Mike McDaniel's my guy, but that ain't you. So to me, this matchup, I think, is actually the most important one. I think it's the most important one. We have to gain some momentum going into to the bye week offensively. If it's going to look like what it looked like Sunday, I'm not even mad I'm not even mad. I should word mad at how it looked previously because, like I said, between the 20s, these guys are kind of moving, right? If they had to clean up in the red zone, you couldn't do jack between the 20s against this squad because you decided to go out there with an elementary playbook, or as the guy said in the Ringer, NCAA 14 playbook, very symmetrical. And that's the great word to use. I called it sharp the other day. I didn't know how else to describe it. And I don't mean like, oh, hey, this offense is playing sharp. But when you actually look at the plays from an X's and O's standpoint, everything is just bing, bing, symmetrical, sharp. Just there's nothing really conceptual about it. There's nothing complex about it. And you don't even got to be that crazy complex. But what you can do is roll that out there. So and that's how it's going to look, man. Concerned. A little bit concerned. All right, so those are my 3 key matchups. One more time, Mike McCarthy versus Mike McCarthy. Jordan Lewis versus Keenan Allen. I think that's a really underrated matchup. And then Michael Davis versus Gallup and Cooks. I think if the Cowboys can take advantage, we just talked about this offense, right? Cowboys take advantage of players over plays. You can get some plays made on one Michael Davis. Big deal me. All right, what's up, Mel? What's on your mind, big dog?
Good morning, King, to the morning, King. Man, I'm watching the game last night, Kansas City and Denver.
That's an ugly game.
Ugh. Very ugly. But it was 2 things that kind of dawned on me. One, was Sean Payton's offense looked just as archaic as Mike McCarthy's offense do.
It do.
So everybody that was, we need Sean Payton. Well, you got him. He just bigger.
Yeah.
But it's,
Stop.
it's the same archaic offense, man. They doing different stuff, but it's still old and archaic. Very stale. No pre-snap motion. No at-snap motion. Line up, run your route. Hopefully you get open. And that's kind of the same thing we're seeing from Mike. The second thing was, I don't know why. I get what Mike is trying to do as far as cutting down the turnovers and emphasizing that.
Yeah, but
I think there's
he's overcorrecting it, though.
He way overcorrected it. I get him addressing it. I get him wanting to address it, but he way overcorrected. I mean, he took out that's a whole nother thing. But why don't you use CD? And you tell me this. Can we use CD like Kansas City uses Kelsey? They motion him almost every play he's in. He's in alignment. He's all over the place. But it's an emphasis on getting him the ball, but not just lining him up at the tight end. They don't use him how Baltimore uses Mark Andrews.
Basically, use CeeDee Lamb like we was using CeeDee Lamb last year, moving him around. You know what I'm saying? Making sure he's a focus point of the offense. Yeah, I agree. Do that ish.
Yeah.
You can't preach players over plays and then say, no, this is the static offense we're going to run. You can't preach that. And then I don't like what Jerry came out and said either. But, move him around. Move him around.
The crazy thing with Jerry, CD has, I don't know if it was, I think it was you that pointed it out. Outside of the Jets game, I believe, he has 4 receptions in each game.
Yeah, and like 5 or 6 targets. But that's what Jerry wanted. He said, hey, man, look, wide receivers will kill for 5 to 7 targets a game. Like, what are you talking about? Hey, what are we talking about? And there'd be times where it's like, I don't know what the hell was going on, man, but there'd be times where it's like, hey, what, big money down, 3rd down. Now, we were doing great in 3rd down before that game. So I'm not going to go, again, we're talking about that game. I'm not going to lie to you. The reason why I'm harping on that game is because that was a game where there was really no excuses. You got your line back, your players are here, ain't no weather increments, ain't none of that. And it's against a good opponent. So, like, you should have rolled out everything. And that's what we rolled out. That's why I got questions. I came out this game with a whole bunch of questions. And, I think
it's totally fair, though, Sky, because if you just look at all of the other previous games, the wins. I'm not even going to bring up Arizona. But
no. We can bring up Arizona. They moved a bad 400-some yards offense against Arizona. Their problem was scoring in the red zone. Like, we didn't have a problem in any game moving the rock between the 20s until Sunday. And the reason why Sunday holds a lot of weight to me is because the opponent, right? Like, you're going to run into either that opponent or maybe opponents that are, good enough defensively. Maybe not this week, but in a couple weeks maybe. And are we going to look like that? Like, yeah, I got questions.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair because that was the game where you're going to see if what you're doing works.
Ain't shit.
That is when you are going to see if what you are doing works because you're not the defense isn't getting you turnovers. Your offense has to go out there and win a game. I think that coming into the season, that was definitely one of my big concerns was can the new offense go out there and win you a game?
We didn't even know what the new offense was going to look like. We've seen the offense do that before. Like, we've seen the offense put up numbers, put up big points, go out there and do all that. And we were like, hey, man, I like the fact that we're like, hey, the defense is going to be this and that. But the defense isn't this or that. I can't say the defense is one of them ones. I can't. Right? So now if you're going to lean into, hey, we're going to play our game through the defense, I love what Pat said. Don't coach your offense through the defense. Coach your offense for your offense. Use your guys, your playmakers on offense. This whole, hey, we're a defense team, we're going to coach through the defense. Look, I get that situationally. I get that when things are, it's a blowout or something like that. But you can't be, I hate to use the word soft, but you can't be scared or whatever to allow your offense to open up because of turnovers last year, which, again, super overreaction in my opinion. You got a quarterback who's not a turnover machine, has never been a turnover machine. 1 year where in reality, I thought he was playing some good ball in general, and a handful of those turnovers are just bad luck turnovers, man. You can't allow that to just completely spook you into what we saw Sunday. You cannot do it, man. Let these players, let these wide receivers get downfield, let these wide receivers run some complex routes, and let your quarterback find them. You act like you're sitting here with a expansion team. This ain't the 2002 Texans. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and your overcorrection didn't work anyway.
Didn't work.
Because the interception still happened.
Well, by that time, that was...
they happened in a key time. Yeah, they didn't happen in a key time. They didn't happen in a key time. But my point is, interceptions are gonna happen regardless, bro.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Like if you're coaching to try to say, hey, I just don't want to throw any interceptions. Like that's gonna be what we saw on Sunday night, man. There's gonna be an inept offense
against an opponent like that. Yes.
Yeah, you just you gotta. Here's my question though, Sky. This is my big concern. We're sitting here saying open up the playbook. Is it as open as it is, though?
No way. There's just no way it's open.
Is there? Ooh, I hope not, because
I quite literally saw so many concepts at camp that we haven't even rolled out yet, which I don't get. Like, why? I don't get it. Why would you save that, or why would you not run that against the Niners? So many different concepts that we have not ran in regards to getting deep and having these combination routes on the back end that got Brandon Cooks downfield. I just don't understand why at that point in time you didn't roll that out against a defense that was kind of asking you to do it, playing a lot of single high and manning up. It was odd, to say the least.
Man, but all right, last one, then I'm gonna jump off, bro. Let you go on your key concepts, man. How confident do you feel? Yeah, on your key matchups. On your key matchups. How confident do you feel in? Because do you believe it's going to be Jay Lute versus Keenan Allen? Is that the way you think we're leaning?
I mean, they don't have another choice unless they do what I said was like, or suggested was move Deron Bland inside from time to time. But yeah, you're going to get Jay Lute on Keenan Allen probably a lot unless they throw a supreme curveball and don't play Jay Lute, which would be, I think, odd because Jordan Lewis is playing some good ball. So, yeah, you're going to get Jordan.
Jay Lue's playing decent, yeah.
He's playing some good ball.
Playing decent.
Keenan Allen plays in the slot
Keenan Allen is 65%
of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so Keenan Allen is another
So
beast,
what's the
though,
question?
Man,
Which one was the question? You kind of asked two different questions.
Oh, how confident, what's your confidence level on percentage that Jay Lute can – okay.
Yeah, I like the matchup. I think Jordan Lewis can. I know it sounds weird to say physically because he's a bigger dude than him, but I mean he's going to be able to keep up with Keenan Allen from a physical standpoint because Allen ain't going to beat you like that. Allen's going to beat you by how they utilize him, getting him open. And I think if they don't do anything, which I saw a bunch of times in the Raiders game, there's times they're not moving Allen on motion or whatnot. There's times they are, a lot of times. But when they're not doing that, they're just saying, hey, go out there and run your route, I think Jay Lou will be fine. Where he's going to have to use his savviness is when they're going to try to do the bunch formation and get some picks set. They're going to run some combinations intermediate that might get him open. That's where the Cowboys are going to have to be on their A game. Jay Lou's going to be on his A game. But mano a mano, the way Jay Lou's playing, I seen him have some good snaps against Brandon Ayuk, and I think Brandon Ayuk is a better receiver right now. So yeah. I'm not overly concerned about it. What I'm concerned about is, are they going to get him off of Jay Lou, right, and use him in the backfield? Is he going to get a position where maybe we're in zone, they motion him on the other side? Oh no, now we got Clark on him. Now we got a dropping D-Law on him. I saw one team, I think it was against the Titans. They dropped a damn defensive lineman on Keenan Allen. And it's like, what are you doing? You should be fired for that. So if we get caught in something like that, that concerns me more than the actual matchup of Jay Lou and Keenan Allen.
All right, man. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to Monday, man. I'm officially over the Niners game. I have moved on. My depression level has started to deplete a little bit, man. And I'm back. Not super enthusiastic, but I am back, bro. So let's go and get it, man. Let's finish off this season. Yeah,
we gotta get a win. Appreciate you, man. Enthusiastic comes when you get a dub. It comes when you get the dub. Now, obviously, we emotionally. This is why I do what I do, right? We react emotionally on the day after the game because we don't got the film. Once we see the film, you kind of get a better understanding, and that should help with some of the emotions. But it is what it is. And then you kind of figure out, well, what the hell do we got to do to move forward? And you just continue on. But that one, I think, rocked a lot of Cowboys Nation, and they pretty much checked out. So, what's good with you, Deshaun?
Hey, what up, Scott? So, I agree with the Mike McCarthy thing. I just feel like, I'm kind of pissed off because when Mike first got killed out here, what did Mike say? Mike was raving about, okay, I want to have a play sheet for like CeeDee Lamb to get CeeDee Lamb the ball. All right, he did that the first few times in a couple games. Where the hell was that at? Because when I seen tape, CD was wide open a lot of times. That's why he kept getting frustrated because
in what game?
He'll be there.
In what game?
In that game. Okay,
what game?
That deep pass to Brandon Cook. That deep pass to Brandon
In
Cook.
what game, sir? Oh, you're talking about the Niners?
Oh, 49ers game. Yes.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Let me tell you something right now. There's a difference in being wide open within the scheme of the play and then being wide open when the play breaks down. That's totally different. Sure. Totally different. Was he open on the play where he threw it to Brandon Cooks deep? Yeah, because the play broke down and he scrambled and he came back across. Where are these receivers getting schemed open within the play in that game? It wasn't any.
I agree.
That's what worries me. I don't give a damn about you getting open when the play break down. That's going to happen. But can I get my guy the ball within the scheme of the offense? Or can I say, I don't care about this play call. Where's 88 at? If I'm Dak Prescott, where's 88 at? Let's figure this thing out. Do something. I don't know what they do, right? Do all these audibles and just say, hey, CD, me and you going to lock in right here. Where that shit at?
I'm very mad at Dak. He should have just said F it and said, CD, I'm about to scheme you up myself.
Yeah.
Because I've heard Dak's part of this offense too. So you can't just when Mike calls things like this and you feel uncomfortable, you need to change it. Romo did that a lot. A lot when Romo was here, and I'm not trying to bring up old past stuff.
That's the one thing I hate about this fan. This is why we need a goddamn win. We are talking. Why we keep bringing up Romo? This month ain't playing like 8 years. Fucking Romo. The game was different 10 years ago. It ain't just you. I see it on Twitter. People be like Tony Romo and Troy Aikman and Jimmy John. Bro, what are we talking about here? Let's talk about what Dak got to do, not what Romo did 10 years ago.
I agree.
Tony Romo. Y'all kill me with that crap.
Dak has to take command of the offense when he feels like it's
no, he need to go away from the damn offense. Not command. He got command. This shit ain't hard to command. He got to say, man, 4 slants. What was it, 3rd and 3? These motherfuckers ran 4 3-yard slants, I'm getting to the line of scrimmage. I'm looking for 88. Me and you, let's lock in. In the system.
That's but Scott, that's always been the issue. Every time
I ain't dissing
like,
Tony, Rolo. Tony, look, or Rolo. I used to almost get fisticuffs for Tony as much as I defended my guy. But that's 10 years ago. That's 10 years
like
ago.
I said, I understand.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about Rolo.
Oh, but see, and my thing is this, Scott. They have to give their confidence back up because I'm gonna be honest with you. If we lose this game, we're going down a big ass spiral.
We lose this game.
God.
It's not going to be fun next week.
No, it's not. And I'm be honest with you, Kellen Moore is about to throw every mother effing thing at you, Scott. He's had this game circled since the day we let this man go, or since they parted ways. He's had this game circled because he know well that if I can, he's trying to he's trying to embarrass Mike McCarthy. He's trying to embarrass this man. And Mike McCarthy's playing this generic 1990 something West Coast offense, and this man is trying.
The player or the coach he's going to have to embarrass is DQ. It's not Mike. It's DQ. That's who we going up against. All right, he going to have to try and embarrass him, and this will be interesting. It'll be an interesting matchup because we've heard often that during practices and whatnot, Dan Quinn, I think Dave even hinted to this. Like, yeah, I know some things, and he knows some things too. So it'll be a fun matchup. So that one again, I got Mike McCarthy versus Mike McCarthy, but Kellen versus Dan Quinn could also be a key matchup too.
Yeah. And last question. So my thing is, do you feel like if we not pressure, but send blitzes at Justin Herbert, do you feel like that affects him? Because some of the games I was watching, he'll hold on the ball too long, like you said, and when they'll send pressure, he'll either have to escape or try to extend the play. And I think that play you was talking about when you say you have to finish the play when he tried to sack him and he hit the ball, but he ran around and he still.
Yeah, number 5 just let him go. If number 5 just runs through him, which again the rules I get it, but look, I'd rather it be a 15-yard penalty because you just ran through the quarterback, forced a fumble, then you run up on a quarterback, 2-hand touch, let go, and now guess what? He's scrambling for a first down. Run through that dude. This is a big dude. You ain't going to play 2-hand touch with Justin Herbert and get him down. It's not going to happen. Yeah. So you say blitz? I mean, they blitz or at least going into that game, they blitzed at a decent rate. They were kind of middle of the pack, I think it was. So I'm not saying go overboard with it. Just kind of, I think they could just play their game in this one, man, and just be more sound and disciplined. I don't think Kellen is going to out-coach Dan like Shanahan did. Just watching their offenses, they're two different offenses, man. You never know what the hell these guys are in San Francisco. You pretty much know what you're going to get from a Kellen Moore's offense. The thing is, do you have the guys to deal with the concepts and whatnot? And do you have the guys to be able to get after Herbert? I think you do. But you better be able to get after him, and you better be able to be in position on the back end because if just like any quarterback, but a good quarterback like Herbert, if you give him time and he can just sit back there, you can't cover forever, and he'll pick you apart.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Now we getting into all I'm seeing here is Romo. I used to go hard, you know what I'm saying? But, and now I don't mean that I'm not coming at you, Twan. It's just, that's why we need Brother L. Might be a drop. We need a win. I get sick and tired. Look, I get it, man. We are a proud franchise that loves to bring up the old school and the past, but that shit ain't got nothing to do with Sunday. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I just come on, man. I see it all the time on the internets. Well, Tony Romo, what? I love Tony. Almost a decade ago. I swear to God, if somebody came from Mars, got dropped down on Earth, and just started following Cowboy stuff and seeing all the Tony, you would think my man's won us 2-3 Super Bowls. Let's relax, okay? We ain't get it done with my guy either. The problem is much bigger than that, but we in the season. You know what we got to talk about matchups and week to week and everything. We know what the bigger problem is on this organization, but ain't nothing we can do about that. But what we not going to do is keep going backwards 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Every single day. I digress. And this is no offense to you, B-Bird, because you're a very historical person when it comes to the Cowboys. But I swear, if we talking about something that happened in 95, B-Bird, I ain't here for it. I ain't here for it, bro.
Well, Scott. The only thing that when it pertains to something that's happening now, I think that's when you go back and see, how was things handled then and how they're handled now. If it doesn't have any relevance to it, then we're just bringing it up.
Yeah.
But I got a question for you, and pardon me, man, because Scott been on his roll. I've been working 20 out of 29 days, 28 out of 29 days. So I catch you when I can. So I think I missed some things. But did you have an opinion on Micah's comments on the Kittle shirt and the back and forth with Debo, and did you have any kind of opinion on that?
That's not really my style, so I didn't. I more so was actually. See, I think what got missed, and I did say something about this. I don't know if you were here when Okoye was here. I said I know there's a quote that everybody's running with and headlining with Micah on his podcast, and it was the George Kittle quote. I can honestly don't care about that, right? But what I did care about is what he said about Dan Quinn. In a way, he didn't say Quinn, but he said Quinn, and how they got out-coached, out-schemed, and he didn't say this publicly, but there were some things that they did that he wished they kind of did differently. That resonated more to me than, it's personal now because of a shirt. Micah Young, Micah don't understand this thing's personal for 30 years because he's a kid. He probably don't understand the history, and I just talked about, learning the history of your game, but he's got, a game he's got to work on. So I did not have a big opinion on it. It just didn't. I don't really care about that. I care about, why'd you get out schemed? Why did they know your counterattacks? Let me listen in more on that. So no, I didn't have a big opinion on it. Would I've liked to hear him say that? No, I don't really want to hear him get on there and talk about his personal now. Should have been personal after the two games. But I was more focused on what he said about how they got out coached.
Yeah. So and I do appreciate that. Because basically, but I think it is. I think part of it is that. What I mean by that is this game is still played with emotions. I don't care how many X and O's and things. This is football. This is still an emotional game.
Sure.
And for Kittle to say that, man, I really got that shirt back. I talked to Plummer, the linebacker from, in the 80s and 90s, and he said got a little bit of history on his rivalry or whatever, and it kind of fired me up or whatever. And so, Kittle wasn't around then either, but he tapped back into those things. Debo was just that guy, right? And so I think a lot of times, man, with AAU and, Select and all these other kind of things, these players play together so much to where they do get friendships. It wasn't back in the days like that. I remember somebody asking Larry Bird, said, well, why aren't you and Magic friends? He said, no, he said, I purposely stayed away from Magic Johnson. And he said, why? He said, because Magic Johnson has that personality, man, I knew I'd like him. And that'd take an edge off of me when we played against each other. And he said, man, I could not. He said, only in my later years that I became friends with him because I knew what kind of person he was. But I had to want to kill him when I went to that game, man. And I say, in knowing him, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I think it is an edge there. And to me, I didn't like it because Michael was like, that's my guy, Kittle, that's my guy, Debo. And these dudes ain't your guys, man. Y'all all trying to fight for the same thing. And for the team that has won 2 in a row to come in with that edge and the team that lost 2 in a row going into that game to not come in with that edge, to me, I just didn't like that because I think that because that's what we thought they were coming in with an edge. Remember all that talk? This ain't just another game. This is this and that. Da, da, da. All the talk in the leading up to the game about it, they acted like they had it, but they didn't play with it. And that goes back to what you talk about a lot, culture. Like, this is a different game, or a different era, B-Bird. All these dudes are friends. All these dudes, they once the cameras is off and once it's all over, these dudes, like you said, play AAU. They on social media. They DM. They play games. It is what it is. But on the field is where that needs to be turned up, right, or turned off. On the field, they didn't play with that same edge. And the culture of the 49ers is what, B-Bird? Physicality. Edge, all of that, right? Yeah.
Would you say that's the culture of the Cowboys?
No, the culture of the Cowboys is corporate. That's why I call them the corporate Cowboys. Right. And, they go out there like a corporation without any kind of feeling and emotions. And, hey, the teams that they're better than, they're going to win. The teams that they're not better than, they're going to lose. Why? Because we're a corporation. We just continue to do the same thing.
Right.
And that's why when you got like those guys like Debo, and then you got those guys like Kittle that got that edge, Williams that got that edge, man, that brings a lot to your team. And your leadership has to be the one that sets that tone, man. Your best players have to be the one to set that tone. And I just didn't like those comments about Micah. It's just like, oh, well, yeah, we all friends. But come on, man, these dudes, it's one Super Bowl winner, man.
And see, that's why I wish these dudes didn't do the podcast all the time or be so forward, because those comments will get taken and as you are right now, put on a pedestal, when in reality, they mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. You got your butt kicked out there, not because you are friends with those guys, in my opinion. I just think because of the way you lost, we got to find every little tiny thing to get on them about. Bro, I'm going to just be completely honest, B-Bird. That him commenting on his shirt meant nothing on the field on Sunday. Nothing. This is 2023, not 1985, where Michael Jordan or whoever you said, Larry Bird and whatnot. All these dudes are cool. So how are the Chiefs 4-1? How are other teams winning? They're all cool, man. It's about what happens in between those. Why do you think a guy like Christian McCaffrey and all these dudes and whoever is swapping jerseys and all this crap, everybody giving them crap for it? Because after it's over, they cool. But I need you to turn that ish off on the field. That's where I needed to be. I can care less about you saying what you said about a podcast, me personally, B-Bird. Because at the end of the day, when you go look at these other teams that are winning, they cool with each other. They cool with each other. Why is it different for us? Win on the field, man. Play with the edge on the field. I can care about the edge off the field.
So one of the things, I'll tell you this, is that, LeBron James is infamous for, training with the better players in the offseason, this, that, and other, one-on-one, and this, that, and other. But these players don't realize that really what he's doing is being friends with you, taking the edge off you. And so that's why I can't think of the guy in Milwaukee, Bucks,
Giannis?
Kupo or whatever.
Yeah, Giannis.
Yeah. He said, Giannis said, I don't work out with nobody else. Why would I work out with somebody I'm trying to win? Why would I want to work out with them and give them my secrets to who I am? And I don't want the secrets to who they are. And now I've become friends with those guys. So people looking down on him, but I love that, man, because I think that when you have one goal and everybody's fighting for the same goal, why are we working out together when we compete against each other? And so I like that mindset, and we don't really find that too much nowadays because people are working together so much that,
right, and somehow, some way, other teams manage to win. That's my whole point of this. Like, this is where we're at in society for these athletes, and other teams manage to win.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got this, guy. I appreciate you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I can care less about them comments, man. I don't like the fact that all these athletes have these podcasts and they kind of say some things, but I can care less about that comment. I care more about why we lost. And he talked about, defensively at the very least, why we got our butts kicked. That's just me. All right, man. Let's get to Twan. What's good, Twan?
Sky! I don't know how long I've been waiting for you, man. I thought I was gonna have a lot to say, but I'm gonna break it down in the three things. First off, salute to you and your niceness and how you hold your composure. Because I feel like we're the same type of fan. But Wednesday, I think his name was Jamal, when he called up with that Trent Dilfer and Flacco shit, you were supposed to hang up on him. I'm not even gonna lie.
I know a lot of y'all be wanting me to hang up on these people, but I try. You called it nice. I don't think I was nice. I could have been nicer. My bad. But I tried it. I try my hardest to let them get their, say what they have to say. That was rough. That one was tough. That was tough.
That was really rough. And on top of that, I tuned into the Vought show and called in, and I didn't get on the phone. Homie before me was talking about Shador Sanders and Caleb Williams. It's like, are y'all real fans? Do y'all pay attention? That's not going to happen. You have to suck for that to happen. Like, do y'all understand how football works and contracts and stuff? Are y'all serious?
I let Vought have that one. I've had my fair share of angry Sky, but that one would have took the cake. That one would have took the cake. My man was wilding. He said anything but these are the only two dudes I want, Caleb Williams and Shador Sanders. And I trade everybody but Diggs and Micah to get them.
Man, that was crazy. But that's that. Two,
What's on your mind? Yeah.
we have to win Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If Mike McCarthy was thinking about holding back play calling, now bring it all now. Because now you have fans looking at Dak as in like he's trash, ass. The fans are looking at Dak like this, and he's not.
Well, that was already the case prior to Sunday. I mean, lots of people were out on him, and they were kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop to then doubt it. And he didn't help his case for those who were kind of in the middle. So that's hey, gotta play better. What are you gonna do?
You got to. And if we lose, Sky, and I know you don't want to say it too early, I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's gonna be looking real weird. It's going to be looking really, really weird, Sky.
Oh, you done? Like, what's going to be looking weird, man? What's looking weird? You gotta
everything. If Dak doesn't play good, the offense doesn't look clicking. We should be clicking by now, Sky.
But what do you mean? Be a little bit more specific. It's going to be looking weird. What's going to be looking weird?
Everything, because we're going to go into the bye.
What does that mean? It's already weird right now, bro. Like, but what's going to be weird?
Oh, so you okay? See, I didn't know you thought it was weird yet.
Yeah, where you been at this week? Where you been at? I've got questions, man.
You got questions, but I never heard you say your statement is looking weird.
I have. I definitely have said this is weird. Hell yeah. I mean, I thought that come without saying. Like, did you see the offense on Sunday? I didn't think it looked weird before then, but Sunday, that
okay.
That was strange.
So yeah, see, I was more so giving it like, damn, that's a bad mess up.
No,
but all right, but we gotta bounce back Monday night. Prime time, guys. We have to.
Give a damn if they was playing at 8 a.m, 10 p.m, prime time. They got to get the dub. Got to get the dub.
But no, that's all I got, Sky. That's all I got. Appreciate you, brother.
No problem at all, man. Yeah, y'all know how I feel about that weird word. It's there. It's weird right now. You don't want it to be weird in week 15. You're going to go through your lumps. Like, the crazy thing about what's happening this year, and again, once again, we're very centric to our squad, which makes sense. We ain't the only ones looking weird out here in these streets, right? But we are who we are. We're the Cowboys. We're not really, when I say fans, Cowboy fans ain't really focused anywhere else. I keep my eyeballs around the league, and I was kind of shocked, actually, when I looked up and said, oh, I realized there's a whole bunch of 3-2 teams. But the way the Cowboys have looked against the only really, I think, good team they've played this year makes me question some things. I ain't ready. I ain't throwing in a towel like a lot of y'all, but I am. I need some answers, and I need better play off of that game. Come on, trying to pull up these damn super chat. After that game, or goodness gracious, next week I don't. Look, win, lose, or draw, I'm here for it all. But Lord, jeez, dealing with y'all if they lose 2 in a row, oh my gosh, it ain't gonna be my show no more. I'm gonna tell you that. We just call it Cowboy Therapy. Go, y'all talk. Y'all ain't gonna give a damn what I got to say. Where we at? The 12th, the 13th. 1, 2, 3. Coach Marv dropped. I ain't see Coach Marv in forever.
Super chat.
You know, he was still around here. How do you feel about, appreciate the 5. He said, how do you feel about our receivers coach? I don't know the man. But yeah, I feel the details in his job with routes have you noticed in your film study, are the routes clean? I mean, after that game, a lot of people are questioning that, right? But I can't sit here and fake the funk. I don't know what he's teaching, how he's teaching it. there's just no way for me to give you a fair criticism or analyst on the actual coach, because what I see is more concerning with the scheme and getting these guys open. Now, McCarthy, he said it's about the details of getting off and all this and all that about the press. But let me ask you this question. Not you, just in general. Michael Gallup, that dude don't get separation. Like, he just naturally don't. So you can just get him out of here. CeeDee Lamb, I've seen CeeDee Lamb get crazy separation, work dudes under this coach. So I really don't know if it's the coach's issue that he's not getting separation. Now, I've seen CeeDee Lamb check out too. That's a whole nother conversation. I think mentally CeeDee Lamb is not happy with the situation, and you see it on the field. I don't like that. And then Brandon Cooks. Look, Brandon Cooks is nice. I'm not chalking this up to Brandon Cooks can't get open. I'm just not doing it. I just think the way that we're utilizing these guys is incorrect. It's incorrect. So appreciate the super chat, but I don't have an opinion on the coach. I don't know what he's teaching down there. He doesn't do enough interviews for us to know specifics that he's teaching down there. So I don't really have one there. Now, Solari and things like that, Schottenheimer, they're telling you how they teaching these guys and what to do. Junior dropped 10.
Super chat.
Or Junior Don't Miss dropped 10. Said, Sky, I was wondering how you're able to watch film cut up from a Google Drive. I tried to on Game Pass, but it's really long and not cut up. I want a better understanding of the league. Well, I don't use Game Pass. I don't use Game Pass, brother. The Game Pass sucks now. Game Pass used to be so elite. It was awesome. Back like 2019, 20, I think they switched it up around 2021, where you can go in and you can filter. Like, I can see third down pass plays, just sacks, just tackles, 20-yard attempts. Like, it was, I type in the name, go all the way back to like 09. Game Pass was legit. I think they're making it more difficult for the user because they don't really want us to have it. If I had to guess, they really don't want us to have it. So I don't use Game Pass. I get my film another way. Yeah. Couple more dropped in here.
Super chat.
Let me see. Tolbert says Tolbert needs more tick. Gallup is not the same. Yeah, I think Gallup is Gallup. Looked like he was doing some good things prior to this game, but I'm with you a little bit here, Chris, in that some of those routes, like when teams are in your grill like that, I do want to see Tolbert a little bit because I feel like Tolbert can get behind you a little bit deep, and I feel like, he's a bit quicker with his feet. And I'll say the same thing I said before Michael Gallup got on a roll here, where I thought he was back. There are ways to utilize his skill set, right? And I thought you saw that in the last game. I thought you saw that in the previous game. You can utilize his skill set differently, and there's a place for him. But yeah, I still would like to see. Nothing's changed for me. Tolbert, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's been pretty good. Wouldn't that be crazy if I got it from Bill B? But no, a different coach. I can't do that, brother L. Ooh, no sirree, Bob. I'll be out I've been in that little Illuminati group for like 3 years now. They kicked me right the hell on out. Keith Murray, he dropped 5.
Super
Murphy,
chat.
my bad. Keith Murphy. He said there is starting to be some truth to A-Rod saying Mike is a low IQ coach. Hey, Keith, I mean, that ish we rolled out on Sunday. Yeah, I got questions. I got questions, man. I ain't gonna jump to conclusions, but I do have questions. Brandon C.
Super chat.
Dropped 10. He said, Ford caught a lot of the play action in Greer in that preseason. Why don't Mike do the same and do what Ford like and is good at? So I think there's this misconception coming out of this game, and this is, again, why we should probably have some of these conversations. What the Cowboys did Sunday was not what they were doing in the previous 4 weeks. The Cowboys are one of the highest play action rated teams. They play under center more than anybody except the Vikings. I don't know why, Brandon, we didn't do a lot of those things against the Niners. I can't give you that answer. I don't know why. But they did all those things, right? Like do the things that Ford likes, get under center and do play action. They did that. In fact, if you go back and look at the Ringer, that article, he talked about, even if you take out play action and screens, when Dak is in true pass play situations, he's 5th in EPA per drop back. So it ain't like he can't drop back and get the rock to his guys, but what you can't do is have these quick game concepts when you're down 18, when you're down 23 against a smart defense like that one. So I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you why they did that on Sunday. I don't know. And I hope and pray that that's not the offense we roll out every week, because I don't give a damn who your Q is. You're making it tougher on those guys. And now it goes back to the same thing I was saying years before. All right, I don't like how things are drawn up here. Can Four overcome that? And I'm just completely honest. I'm a Dak fan. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's that type of quarterback to be able to overcome it. I don't. If you want to be one of those that want to take the chance on another rookie to be able to overcome it or make a trade, that's understandable. But I don't think giving away that setup, that's going to work out with this guy. You better get the corpse of Aaron Rodgers from 08, 09, 2010 or what have you, 11, 12, whatever he's winning MVPs. Peyton Manning up in here, somebody like that. You better hope you get lucky in the draft with a guy that can end up being like that. But he ain't going to be able to overcome that. So you better scheme this thing up a little bit better, or you're going to lose your receivers too. Right? You're going to lose Lamb. You're going to lose Cooks. Gallup, don't give it. You're going to lose Lamb. You're going to lose Cooks. And now we're going to be in this weird situation moving forward. And I hit up B about this because he had said in the offseason, he's like, my bold prediction is by the bye week, we could be having a conversation about Brian Schottenheimer calling plays. And a lot of people were just like, yeah, whatever. What I saw Sunday was not what I saw when looking at Shotty as an OC. So if things don't switch up here, do we have to start having a conversation of Shotty calling the plays, which is something that you do not want to have that type of conversation in the middle of the season. He's done it before. He's relinquished play calling duties before. Zotan drop one.
Super chat.
I think that's how you say it. In my opinion, in your opinion, is the team's biggest problem maturity or discipline? In my opinion, both, but love to hear your thoughts, man. I don't think those are the biggest problems. The biggest problems lie elsewhere, but we in the season. Do I think the maturity or discipline? I'll say neither. I don't think either of those are the biggest problems. Discipline. Do you mean like within the play frame? Do you mean, hey, you can't jump off sides, penalties and things like that? I thought we was cleaning that up. Then week 3 happened. I thought we was cleaning that up. Then Sunday happened where you're lining up off sides and things like that. I wouldn't say those things are the biggest, but I guess you can add. I would put discipline. I wouldn't consider maturity. But I think if you're looking at maturity, I would look at CD, and a lot of people are going to look at Micah as a mature. But I think for the most part, this is a mature group. It's a mature. By week 8, Rush would be the OC. Mel said no QB will have success in this system. Well, Mel, that will not please the people who hate this quarterback, Mel. So I'm trying to be objective, right? But you can't please everybody. If you want to go back to an example of that, though, hate to do this, but Aaron Rodgers, who when things got stale in Green Bay, was pissed the hell off. Go look at his numbers during that time. Aaron Rodgers was like, oh, what the hell going on with A-Rod? Is he done? Is he washed? Nah, apparently just McCarthy. Because then during the season, when he left, my man's is winning MVPs. And Aaron Rodgers is a GOAT. Right? But people don't want to hear that. And I get I shouldn't be pandering to those people, which is why I try to bring on. That's why I say Monday, emotions. Hey, man, every day, it sucks, man. It's terrible. Tuesday, now we seen the film. Something ain't right, but people don't really care about that context. I told you that. And I hate that I kind of disregard my context matters. I shouldn't do that. It's basically just burn it all down and just hope that everything changes. But the offseason conversation when we get here is we've been through multiple situations at these two positions that we are trying to burn down and start over, but nothing is changing. God damn it, we need to change it. Sally, you drop one too? Hold up. You must have just dropped one. Hold up. I got you. Oh, a couple of y'all dropped one I missed. My bad. Sully dropped one and DB dropped one.
Super chat.
DB just dropped 10 and said, man, great show. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, DB. Sully dropped 5 and said, I hope Mike not getting weird on the road because of crowd noise. I feel like Kellen used to do that and buckle in loud situations. You know what? And keep an eye on that, Sully. Because if you go look at how we ran things at home, I ain't seen none of that on the road. Not even, and again, the excuse in Arizona was, we lost our lineman, cool. Right? Like, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I think I said that in the group text. I was like, look, I give Mike the benefit of the doubt the first 4 weeks. You had the monsoon. Oh, then you didn't have Cooks, but you had a fantastic plan, I think, against the Jets. I was looking for that plan. What an amazing game plan. It is what it is. Week 3, I get it. Hey, dog, you ain't had your lineman. Still move the ball, but I get it. Week 4, blew him the hell out. Game was over at halftime. No need to roll anything out. This was a game where you had no excuses not to kind of show us the playbook. And you actually regressed from it. You didn't do any of the shit you did, in the first 4 weeks, in my opinion, in regards to movements and whatnot. So I'm going to keep my eye on that, Sully. Keep my eye on that. Brandon C. All right, did that one. Oh, no, I got to the rest. One more, and then I think we good. Yep. All right, y'all, look. Boy, I hope they get this game. They got to get this game. Now, we will not be playing Sunday, so we actually have another show, I believe, on Monday, unless Zach want to, say, hey, Sky, I know you got to do 4 shows in a matter of 18 hours, but we'll see. I might be here Monday. Probably will be here Monday morning. So we'll talk about this Monday morning. Maybe Monday we'll mix it up a bit. I think weekday games are weird because we have to talk about whatever in the morning, and then we obviously do the pregame, halftime, postgame show later, and then the next morning we're on again. So we'll see. Maybe Monday we'll loosen this thing up a bit. Or maybe we'll talk about what we saw over the weekend. So Cowboys off Sunday. Please enjoy y'all Sunday. It'll be the first of 2 consecutive Sundays where we can just kick back, put our hands up, and just chill. Because after that, the Cowboys going to bye week. All right. I'll be on Twitter probably talking about what we're seeing on Sunday. If not, I'll probably be chilling. I don't like to go too crazy on there, man. Shouts out to those who do, but I ain't one of them. Come to the show. You want to rap? We got the show. On the way out, do me a favor if you enjoyed this show, if you enjoyed this program, really, period, because that's what it is. Go ahead, hit the like button. If you missed it, run it back. We went into detail on the 3 key matchups to this game. We even broke out the film. We listened to Kurt Warner. Thought it was a pretty good breakdown today. Run that back. And of course, if you dig what you see, hit the like button. With that said,
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
and push that button. Yeah, brother L. He said 3 to 4 shows in a day. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 shows in a manner of 24 hours. Don't y'all ever say I don't work. Well, I be working, man. We out here. Love y'all. Peace.
Bomb Squad!